My grandfather, Giovanni Pedroncelli, actually founded this in 1927, and surprisingly it was in the middle of Prohibition. He had bought 25 acres of vineyard and a home and a defunct winery, and then basically just continued to grow the grapes and sell them, and our history just starts there. We started making wine in 1934 when it was legal, and we went on from there. He came from a little town in the very northern part of Italy, and my grandmother also came from a town just at the base of the Alps.
Hi there, today we're at Pedroncelli Winery in Dry Creek, and I'm speaking with Julie St. John, the granddaughter of the founder of Pedroncelli Winery, and she's going to tell us about their story and their history, and I'm so happy to be here today.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be here. We've celebrated 83 years in this spot since my grandfather founded the winery. Just that nice consistency, born of longevity and love of the land that we live on.
Glad to have you guys here. I am the tasting room manager of Pedroncelli Winery. My name is John Brown. I'd be typically the one who would take you through the courses on our Pedroncelli wines, the tasting room. And first wine we're going to taste today is our 2009 Sauvignon Blanc, which is our East Side Vineyard. This is 100% stainless steel fermented, a crisp, beautiful, bright wine.
Delicious.
Especially on the bocce court.
So we all taste differently to a large degree, but in Sauvignon Blanc I find that those tropical notes, because this wine is 100% stainless, really shine. They're just bright, they're crisp.
And you said this is one of your number 1 sellers.
This is definitely one of our number 1 sellers.
Cheers.
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 Now I'm going to kick your ass on bocce ball.
There you go. Perfect.
Oh.
And that's a bocce. We're standing in what we call our mother clone vineyard. It is the vineyard that was purchased by my grandfather in 1927, and we used budwood from that original vineyard to just replant the vineyard into place, basically cloning it into place. So the original one being planted in 1904, they were head pruned to begin with. That's what the original vineyard was. It was beautiful head pruned vines. And you want ripeness, but you don't want complete raisins, because then you don't get enough juice off the vine. But anyway, so yeah, they are head pruned for that reason, because this is basically, we consider this a heritage vineyard.
This beautiful wine, this is about 12 months in French and American oak. Again, as we're tasting this wine, swirling to get to really let the bouquet out of the Zinfandel is very important. Very subtle sort of raspberry characteristics. I do get some cassis. Zinfandel is often described as the spicy red wine, and so in the mother clone there's just enough of that pepper kick that it's not overpowering, but really complements the fruit well. Here we are. We're officially in Pedroncelli's tasting room now, and we are about to taste what I contend is a very special wine here. Pedroncelli is one of the very few wineries in the county that actually grow and produce Portuguese port grapes. So essentially, without coming from Portugal, a port like this is as close to Porto as you're liable to taste. The story goes that Raymond Burr, back in the 1980s, brought Portuguese varietals over with him from Portugal. And we ended up cloning off of Raymond Burr's Portuguese grapes. The 4 grapes that comprise this port are Touriga, Tinta Cao, Tinta Madeira, and Salsa. And again, this is what makes it truly unique to the county.
And what are the characteristics of these Portuguese grapes?
Port wine, 2 schools on port wine. You have ruby ports and tawny ports. We don't classify this as a ruby, but to me, ruby ports tend to be sweeter, more fruit notes, can be very dark, ripe plum. You can get dark berry tones in port wine, as opposed to tawny ports, which typically are nuttier. You find more caramel tones in tawny ports, where this port, again, fruitier, more fruit tones. So again, you really let that roll over the tongue, and you get a lot of those nice, I get a lot of nice dark berries.
Yeah, a couple.
Tell that to our sister.
Let's say, yeah, my husband. All right, so thank you. We want to welcome everybody to Pedroncelli Winery, just for a taste of our history here in Dry Creek Valley of 83 years. And one family, one place, and saluti a tutti.
Cheers. We'll see you soon.